And you're Jocelyn, that right? Hey, Jocelyn. This is Jocelyn's office hour. Actually, I would like that girdle line to be back where it goes. So, I've got this. Now, what I need to do is I need to create, you, as you pointed out, you have a frame, okay? The frame has to be an offset of the girdle. It has to follow the exact shape of the stone, or it will look weird, yes? The smallest thing you could do would be 1.5. So let's see what that looks like, because that's the very smallest. Is that too small, or do you want bigger?
Just to fit the stone.
Yeah, I mean, this will put 1 millimeter melee. You want 1 millimeter? You want 1.2? What do you want? You want 1.2. 1.2 or better. So 1.2 plus 0.5 is 1.7 millimeters. The reason I'm doing that is you have to have a 1/4 millimeter on each side of the stones in order to set them up. So you need to have 1.5, 1.2 millimeters plus 0.25 plus 0.25, which is 0.5. So a total of 1.7. So this will be your frame. Okay? So I'm going to, I copied and pasted that girdle, so I have a copy of it. So when I move it down, I'll still have the girdle. This follows the same rules as any other under bezel. You want it to be between 1/4 and 1/3 of the way down. Something like that. Okay? Now, I'm going to take a look and see how this fits against your stone. Best way for me to see that, to visualize that, is to put a planar surface. Yep, it's right there. It's a surface from planar curves. Planar means flat surface. You have to have a closed curve to make that work. Okay, so yeah, I think that looks okay. I could tuck it under a little bit more, which I think I will do. So I'll take this. I had a curve. And I'm going to offset it just a little bit. Oh, problem is I had the wrong C-plane. Remember, that's all C-plane dependent. Set C-plane to object, and now I can offset it.
Now it's top.
Yeah, well, it's actually assigned to this surface. It's parallel to top, but you can assign a C-plane to any flat surface in Rhino. And that's nice because that way it puts it right on that surface. There. So that's our new one. Let's take a look at that with the stone. Yeah, I like that better. But it's pretty, that's not a lot of metal to set your stone against. And I still like it better. Do I not? See, this is what maquetting is about. It seems silly to make such fuss over such little things. But if you can see a problem, you might as well fix it. There. So that's our new, that's your under bezel basically. But you need to have this now come off for this, go back. I always go back to top C-plane in between things because it makes my life easier to understand. I want to, always want your, throw that away so it doesn't confuse me. You always want your frame to have a bevel, a slant to it. Make this a darker color. It could be steep, it can be almost flat. Usually what's pretty, so you didn't do it in yours.
Oh,
A little bit?
yeah, just
Okay, yeah, so that's what you want. Okay? I want this to be 1.7 millimeters because that's what that frame is going to be. To make sure that's 1.7, I can constrain that by typing 1.7 in the command line. Now, no matter what I do, that's a 1.7 millimeter curve. There. Go back to topsy plane. Oh, except for I did the wrong place. I meant to do that off the end of this one. That's my problem for having multiple things. 1.7. There we go. I want that. And then I want to take this curve and I want to offset it to grab the end of that. Now what's funny is it's going to look wrong. I don't care. Because I know it's right. All I have to do is move it, take project off, move it from here to here. And you can tell it's right because if I mirror that line over, it touches. So I'm going to look at that for a minute and see what I think. I think that's too steep. So I'm going to rotate that back up a little bit. Like that. Offset that curve again to the end of that curve there. Move it back into position. This is no longer correct, so throw that away so it's confusing. I like that better. It still looks really steep. That's funny because I wouldn't have thought so, but it does. It looks really steep to me. So this time I'm going to go the other direction. I'm going to try and do it shallower than I think it should be. And see what that gives me. Rhino, be nice. When you hear me go thump thump, I'm hitting escape. Telling Rhino to knock it off. Escape will get you out of any command you're in. Oh yeah. That's nice. Okay, what I don't like about this curve, I don't know if you can see it, but right here there's a flatness. And because I can see that, I know that's not two curves. You want this to be one curve, two curves. It's actually 6 segments. You got a segment here, a segment there, and a segment there. That's going to make ugliness. Don't want ugliness. So I'm going to rebuild that. F5. 12 is good, I think. Preview. Yeah, that's fine. Get rid of the old, nasty multi-piece one and mirror it over with the new, fancy, perfect one. Join it. Actually, I'm not going, I'll join it. What the heck. So now I'm going to create a surface between those two. Yep, loft will do it. Right? Now, what I want to figure out is I want to figure out and how much of an angle I want. Now I can do what I did in class. I can take this, and if I draw a curve straight down, let's go from here. Oh, Rhino, be nice. I can go from here to deer snap. I can do this and just keep pulling it down until I like it.
And then you can cut it.
And then I can cut it like I did in class. But I'm afraid that if I do this, what I like here, that's actually pretty good. Well, I lied. I'll keep it. Going to go ahead and Boolean that out in the middle. What are you doing, computer? There's no reason for that not to behave. It doesn't want to extrude. Oh, that's because I'm in a solid menu. I apologize. That's why. I'm just checking the direction of the surface because since I didn't have a cap on it, see that? It gave me weirdness. Oh, it gave me weirdness because I didn't join this to it. Still gave me weirdness. Okay, I can keep playing this game. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't join that to it. There. That happy flash means it's a solid. There we go. So we have a block now. Okay. And now we still have our two side stones. And now we have to think about how these are interacting with this thing. I might be able to snug them in tighter. Not very much. A little bit. Okay, I can live with that. All right, I need to create a under bezel for this stone.
I did the under bezel at home. I just didn't know what to do.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the girdle. I'm going to put a surface on it, planar. So now I have it. We can't really see it, but I have what I need there. Okay. I want to be able to move that up and down easily. To do that, I need a curve that goes the right direction off of that. There are ways to do that. The easiest way to do it is going to do curve normal. Normal option will take that curve off of here and run it perpendicular to the surface. That's important because now I can use that to move this down. I know I'm going to want to keep it as high as I reasonably can. Something like that. And I'm going to do that 1.2 millimeter thickness because it's a pretty good maquette distance to start with. If we don't like it, we'll change it in the drawing. So surface offset. Where are you at? Offset surface. Thank you. Minus, because the arrows are pointing up, 1.2. Okay. I could also, now that I think about it, have just an extrude surface. Solid extrude surface straight, minus 1.2. So now I have that. Okay. And so now you have kind of the basic blocks. Obviously, this is going to have to be cut out. This is going to want to be cut out to make room for these. Also, I think that you're going to want to lift them up a little bit.
The trillion?
Yeah, I think so. Just because they're sitting awful low now. Move them up. Move it out a little bit. I can't go any higher than that. This is no longer true, so I'll throw that away. You can, or you could Boolean union it actually. But at this point, the biggest concern I have is cutting this out in the middle, but I wouldn't even bother. For a maquette, I wouldn't even bother. For a maquette, I would once again take a curve, and your time is up. And Katie McCants is waiting in the wings. I would take a line off of here. I would get an angle that I like this. So I've got this. And what I'm going to do, actually, is just like we did with our 3 stone rings in class. Remember how I took my 2 side things and the center in our one in class? I'm just going to do it with sides because that's all we're working with here. I'm going to do a section command. Take that, explode it, steal these 2, delete the middle, do a blend curve, adjustable, get rid of the bump in the middle, pretty much. Join it together, like so. And then I'm going to extrude it straight. And I'm going to cut it. And to cut it, I'm going to need to borrow the shape of these. Easiest way to get that is to extract surface. Duplicate a border. Project that to C-plane. Explode it. Take this piece off. Join it. Blend curve again. And again. Join these together. Turn this back on. Not that. This. Project this onto that curve. Trim it off. Bring back my red so I have my line. Extrude to point. Intersect snap. Like so. And before I join that together, I'm going to go ahead and offset that surface. Minus 1.2. Oop, wrong way. Positive 1.2. It's right here. I'm going to untrim that surface. Oh, it's a poly surface. That's problematic. Okay. Fine. I'm going to have to stop, but you get the idea. I can use this now to, I would use this to take the bottom off. And then I could decide if I think I have an error line here or not. That's something that we'd have to figure out. But that's it.
You can send this to me?
Yeah.
But you have my email?
Yes, I do. Because you're in my class. And that's just a 2 millimeter. Except for carving into her, yes. I'm carving into her time. Let me stop this video.